Good morning, everyone. I am so excited about this week. There are so many great books out there in this category, and I ultimately went with my absolute favorite, which is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is a book that I have read to each of my kids. It's something that I was so excited to read again in preparation for this week and this presentation. I believe that it should be required reading for all fifth graders. It focuses on so many issues that are so beneficial for kids who are entering puberty and dealing with their own insecurities and um, the unsureties of being around their peers. And so here's August, who is different than any other kid. He's about to go into the public school. Well, he's going to a prep school, but it's the first time he'll be at an actual school. He's been homeschooled his whole life. He lives with his mother, father, and his sister Violet, in New York City. And he's been pretty sheltered in that sense, as far as his mom's been his teacher, his sister's very protective of him, and they just treat him like he is a normal kid, an ordinary kid, which is what they should be doing. But August, or Augie, as we refer to him throughout the book, knows he's not normal. He says, I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream, I ride my bike, I play ball, I have an Xbox, stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. I know ordinary kids don't get stared at wherever they go. If I found a magic lamp and I could have one wish, I would wish that I had a normal face that no one ever noticed at all. I would wish that I could walk down the street without people seeing me and then doing that look away thing. Here's what I think. The only reason I'm not ordinary is that no one else sees me that way. But I'm kind of used to how I look by now. I know how to pretend I don't see the faces people make. We've all gotten pretty good at that sort of thing. Me, mom, dad, and Vi. Actually, I take that back. Vi's not so good at it. She can get really annoyed when people do something rude. Like, for instance, one time in the playground, some other kids made some noises. I don't even know what the noises were exactly because I didn't hear them myself, but Vi heard, and she just started yelling at the kids. That's the way she is. I'm not that way. Vi doesn't see me as ordinary. She says she does. But if I were ordinary, she wouldn't feel like she needs to protect me as much. And mom and dad don't see me as ordinary either. They see me as extraordinary. I think the only person in the world who realizes how ordinary I am is me. My name is August, by the way. I won't describe what I look like. Whatever you're thinking is probably worse. So it's such a great book. We get August's perspective, we get his sister Vi's perspective, we get his friend Jack's perspective. And August starts out the school year just really excited, feeling like he has done a tour with some of the kids before the school starts. He got to meet his principal, Mr. Tushman, which is just this hilarious chapter in the beginning about that name. And his parents are just really funny, and you laugh and you cry and you laugh more and you cry more throughout this book. It is just such a neat journey, and you follow August that whole year. He has an extraordinary teacher who just challenges the kids to be better. And Mr. Brown's precepts is what they call them. And they kind of get their personal mottos. August finds out who his real friends are and who see him as ordinary. So throughout the book, there are some illustrations, depending on the chapter. Sorry, I have it marked. It's right here. Like, here's a section about Vi, and you get kind of her perspective. Being the older sister of a brother who has had to have countless surgeries and has had to be in and out of hospitals, and just kind of her life before August and then what her life became after August. and how she is dealing with high school, and her best friend isn't being her best friend anymore, and so she's trying to figure out kind of her place in the world. So it is just such a great book, and I feel like it deals with so many really important issues. Middle school, fifth grade, high school. It's not an easy time for any kid, let alone someone like August who, uh, you know, has that kind of reaction that he shares in that first little bit of the book from other kids. And I think it really gives the opportunity for the reader to get outside of themselves and think about how they view other people and how they treat other people. And the whole entire book is based around the concept of being kind. Just be kind. It doesn't take a great effort to be kind, but it makes such a big difference to others. So I highly recommend this. It's a wonderful book. It is now a motion picture. If you haven't read the book, go ahead and read it and then watch the movie. It's one of our favorites. And again, this is something that my kids, they love this book. We actually have about 3 or 4 copies at my house roaming around, just because I've loaned them out and then people haven't, necessarily returned them. And so I go and buy another copy because one of the kids wants to read it or I want to read it again. And then I get that copy back. And so we have just a ton of copies laying around here. If I could, I would just dole them out to all of you. But I do. I highly recommend it. It's such a wonderful book. And you'll have to let me know if you've read it or if you've seen the movie and what your thoughts are. So, anyways, I hope you guys are all having a great week. We're almost halfway through the semester. I can't believe it. So, I'll talk to you all soon.